All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you push the camera over?
Camera over?
We're doing this live on stream.
So they can't show me as much?
So we're centered. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you're centered.
So we're centered. Because you're off to the side.
It's going to push me further out if I put it over further.
No.
Like if I go over further, then I'm
Oh, that's how that works.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, here, the two of us are centered.
Okay, anyway.
We're partners in this.
So anyway.
Anyway.
Today, we're playing the settings menu of the Stanley Parable.
Ultra Deluxe Edition.
Move this over a little bit.
Okay. We're moving over a little bit. We're moving over a little bit.
Okay.
Just in live. Can we move this over a little bit too?
No.
I can't. You can't really see. Is it where the chat's going?
The chat's on the left.
Okay. All right. It's been literally years. So that's why this is the original Stanley Parable.
Don't make fun of me.
Aaron also played the Stanley Parable around the same time as I did, I think. It was actually before we were together. Such a time did exist, in fact. Unlike me, Aaron played it through just once. Got a single ending. I played it through multiple times. Got multiple endings.
I didn't know you should do that. I didn't you should do that.
Aaron was unaware that you should do that. The end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
We may not
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
I think it's a pretty fun introduction.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day,
That's my job.
every month, of every
Before
year.
Easter seals.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley
I would not mind
relished
that.
every moment that the orders came
Hon,
in.
it's life
Though he had
something.
been made exactly for this job. And Stanley
Better than talking to people.
was happy.
When I applied for that job, I had
And then
no
one day, something very peculiar
work
happened.
experience.
Something
And they
that
were
would
like,
forever
"Did you
change
qualify?"
Stanley. Something he would never quite
Did you have a
forget.
bachelor's degree?
Yeah.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
No, me.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Can you put my drink here?
Mm-hmm. There's going to be some live drinking action on stream?
I'm thirsty.
Yeah. What are you drinking, hon?
Snapple fruit punch.
How do you like Snapple for a fruit punch?
It is the best Snapple. Besides the iced tea.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Motion?
Yeah.
I almost said motion.
The camera's too sensitive for me. There we go. Is that better?
Yes.
Is it because, like, you know, I think your mouse sensitivity is set very
Hi.
Yeah, because you can't really move your wrists as much as I can.
That is an accessibility thing.
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah.
And it affects how I play certain games.
Games that don't give you the option to Increase it.
No, but for example, Overwatch.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the
Everyone
office, but it didn't make a single
plays
difference.
Overwatch.
Nor did it
Like,
advance the
well,
story in any way.
Says to turn down your sensitivity
Yeah.
for better aiming.
And you're supposed to like also be like moving your wrist in like a huge area. Like your like half your desk should be your mouse pad.
Yeah.
That's not how I roll.
Hi, Stoldu.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome.
I want to see what happens if I go back to the room.
How are you today?
Oh dear,
Oh no.
I almost sneeze.
Alright, do it.
Okay.
One time.
Yeah, that's unusual.
That is the first time that's ever happened. Usually you sneeze like 10 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
It's very charming.
It's allergies for you. Oh dear.
When Stanley came to a set of
I
two
did the right
open
one last
doors,
time.
he entered the
did the
door
right
on
one?
his left.
Yeah.
It says the same goes to the left one.
I did the right one just to piss him off.
Is the music coming from the game?
No.
Okay, well,
It
it's
sounds
okay.
like banjo.
Yeah.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
My dad
Feeling a wave of
was
disbelief,
watching a
Stanley
progress
decided to go up to his boss's
concert
office, hoping he might find an
all
answer
day.
there.
Yeah, uh-huh. Just so you know, I'm a big fan of bluegrass all day. Did you like some variety? We need signature core values, expenditures. Shift global market paradigm, I'm guessing. Monetize free-to-play. Everyone's unique. You most of all. I feel like I could read that if I could like zoom in just a little further.
I wonder if it's like
That actual
full
text.
screen. You should read it.
Maybe, but I don't. It's just
It's just out of vision.
yeah.
Broom closet.
Why go in the broom closet?
Stanley
no
stepped
rooms.
into the broom closet,
Others.
but there was nothing here, so
There's
he
a broom.
turned around and got back on track.
Okay, fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's go upstairs.
I do think this game messes with my like anxiety.
Oh.
That is my favorite wallpaper.
Bathroom.
I'm dying someday.
Okay. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose.
Extreme bathrooms.
And time.
I just love the wallpaper.
Yeah.
I love the dark wood. I don't know if you can tell, but like, that's the wallpaper I wanted in my room. And my mom's like, no. I'm not doing wallpaper. Oh, the shelf.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not
I
an
love it.
indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
Left the dog.
Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had
wonder if
been
this
keeping
is,
from him. And so the boss had assigned it
modeled
an extra
after
secret pin number.
the JP Morgan library.
2845. But of
This is the
course,
exact
Stanley
office.
couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh my.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Interesting. Alright. It's very dark.
Yeah.
I think it's going down.
Maddie.
Maddie.
My dad's out there.
Yeah.
Descending
I know,
deeper
it's
into the
just like-
building, Stanley realized he felt a
Fine
bit
for us.
peculiar.
For you.
It was a
specifically.
stirring
Yeah.
of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself. to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Interesting.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape, escape. Escape!
Mind control facility, huh? Oh.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
This
Stanley
reminds me
thought to
of
himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
that show.
Matrix?
No. On Apple TV?
Severance.
Yeah. I really like that
Now
show.
the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Tag yourself. I'm 310.
I think.
Region.
I'm trying to find us. We're there. 474. Is that us?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
474. Is it?
Maybe 477. I don't know what letters that. Not important. I'm just curious.
Person.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I think we can play for like an hour. My
No.
back is like
He refused to believe
on
it.
fire.
He couldn't accept it. His
No,
own life
don't
in
do that.
someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Is there an episode of Star Trek?
No. Not until Thursday.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was the best episode I've ever seen.
It was the Spock episode.
It was the Spock episode. I loved it so much.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Hit it.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
You can't press anything. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Did you say this is a walking simulator?
Yes. In fact, that's one of the first ones.
But I feel like there's like still stuff you have to do. And puzzles to solve. Or if you go... No, go back to that.
Nothing to look up here. It's just it's a little dark. Oh, you can't go through there.
Go back to that number thing.
Okay.
And hit it 4 times.
I can press it in or out.
Oh.
I think.
Because the other's 4 dots.
Yeah, but they're not changing.
And the other one has 2. Doesn't that mean something? Maybe it means something.
Maybe.
Something deep.
Lots of things be fun.
You can go downstairs.
Can
Yeah.
I? Down here? Hmm. Okay. That doesn't
There you
matter.
go.
Yeah, huh. Maybe this?
Oh, maybe I should do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
The humor does remind me of Portal. don't think you hit it. You didn't hit one.
Is there a 3 somewhere? Is the question.
It has to be.
Is there a 4 somewhere?
Of course.
Where's the 4? Where's the 4? That's the question that everyone's asking.
Where's the 4?
Gotta find the 4.
Is it up top there?
Up top?
Up there.
So I can't get up there.
I know. Can't go upstairs. Interesting. Did your back hurt?
No. Not too bad right now. Where's the 4? Everyone's asking, where's the 4?
Maybe in those. To the left there? No, to the left.
Huh?
To the right. And to the left. In there.
In there?
No, turn it straight.
In here?
Yeah.
Does not look like it. Well, there's no 4.
Oh. Great gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm made some great choices here to make this super entertaining.
You just exit.
I think this is where I'm supposed to go the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And when at last he found the source of the
Man,
room's
that was
power,
useful.
he knew
Good
it
job.
was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Off.
It's off.
You did it.
Yeah.
Good game.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Was it over?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps
Beautiful.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin,
I know.
a feeling of liberation,
Stanley's
immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, good game.
A good game.
Yeah. You got an achievement too. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna do a little speed run.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Didn't you do left last time?
Oh, but there's other choice. There's another choice to
Yet
make.
there was not a single person here
Yeah.
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming
There's
to a
actually a number
staircase,
before that, right?
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
No?
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
I actually did not expect this to happen.
Oh, really?
No. I was like, I won't see the content. I like, I've seen this already.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the open passageway.
Oh.
Remember this? Remember this part, hon?
Yeah.
The game?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Clearly she doesn't like bluegrass. Or maybe your dad left the TV on and left. I don't get why people do that sometimes.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Escape.
Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay.
Alright.
Keep going. Don't stop.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do it.
No? They did not.
GG.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Bye.
Farewell, Stanley.
Bye. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I see it instantly. Oh.
Interesting. That's the end of the game, huh?
We did it.
And yet it would be just a few minutes
GG.
before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every
this is like the
path you
end.
can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes
Right,
meaningless,
museum.
making life the
Yeah.
same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Mm-hmm. Makes you think, huh? Makes you think.
This would be a cool VR game.
Yeah, I agree. This is credits, huh? Game over.
I didn't know this part.
Oh, see, this is the ending you got.
But yeah, this is the ending I got. But yeah, I played a lot more.
I could see why you'd forget this ending. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
this is the
okay, I'm
end.
done.
Oh, what's over here? That's the clock. What's over here? Oh. My control facility.
Kevin Branagh? Oh.
Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development.
Stanley stood on the roof.
There's some semantics. I'll leave those for you to discover at home.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a game.
It's a big museum.
Yeah. That's another game.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
That's it.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But
Sometimes.
listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I'm going to try that again and see what that does.
Alright, good job.
Alright. Well, that's 2.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
Can
admire
you
it.
pause for a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
See, look at it, Jack.
Okay.
False. Bird. Hello.
Hello. We're back. I've been informed the name of the rabbit is Bounce.
Bounce E Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
The E is for Edgar.
Oh. Edgar Bunny.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth
There's a
admiring.
page on
It had really been worth the detour after all,
And a
just to
couch.
spend a few moments here in this
Private
immaculate,
couch.
beautifully constructed room.
Yeah.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I'm trying to read it, but it's just too small.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Oh, it's
A
so nice.
room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some
Oh,
paintings.
there's some paintings.
Really worth it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Cold drink.
I love a cold drink.
At this point, Stanley's
Mine is in
obsession with this
temperature.
room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
$1.25.
What a bargain.
How would you like
But
it?
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing
So
room
if, like,
and took the
buck.
first open door on his left to get back to business.
Rental and food and drink was affordable.
Yeah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Well, that seems dangerous.
Do it, jump.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
No.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I just realized I have no alerts set.
Oh, should you?
Yeah, that's fine. Don't do it. Don't in the room. Don't in the
I
room.
don't want to, it's scary.
Don't in the room. Do it.
Alright.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
You actually have Tuesday night book club,
Right now?
7:30.
Oh. I'm probably not going.
Okay.
Because I didn't read the book.
Yeah.
I was going to pop in and be like, hey, I'm still alive.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Okay.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here,
Wow.
Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Too bad, turn around.
What part?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
No! No!
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and
Why
every
have you
button
tables
that he
here?
pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful.
So,
And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
I had Starbucks.
You eat Starbucks?
I had Starbucks.
And
2
so
days
he
in a
began to
row.
fantasize about his own job.
It was
First, he
amazing.
imagined that one day while at work, he
What's your
stepped
favorite
up from
drink?
his desk to realize that all of
Yeah.
his co-workers, his boss,
Do it, caramel
everyone in the
macchiato.
building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
It's on the
What
boys.
is a macchiato?
I don't know.
So
They
he went
cappuccino,
further.
different-
He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
you-
The mere
you close
thought
it now, so?
that his decisions would mean something
Can you?
was almost
Yeah,
too
you can right-click to move
wonderful
forward.
to
Let me
behold.
see.
Except
I
for this
think
part.
that's F. I know there's a lot of new accessibility features. Like they gave it a good rating.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
I'm telling you the story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be?
Must be.
Perhaps if he played just one more time.
It's been another time, huh? I'll tell my wife I love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Good night.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Press it.
No. We'll play the waiting game. So how you doing? How's your day been?
Good.
Good.
I did an interview today
Nice.
with the Advocate.
The Advocate. That's a journal?
It's a channel
Oh.
for Equal Pride.
Oh, nice, nice.
We talked about ES Gaming, talked about the blog, talked about podcasts.
I hear the ES Gaming is sponsoring a Overwatch 2 League team. Well, there's some
No.
sort of relationship there between the two of them.
So we partnered with
Partnered.
Oxygen
Oxygen.
Esports.
Okay.
And Oxygen owns Boston Uprising,
Mm-hmm.
which is an Overwatch League team.
See, they put
So-
they put your name down with the Dunkin'
We
Donuts.
technically, because we partnered with Oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
we basically partnered with Boston.
Who won their match
Yeah,
against the number 2
the
favorite.
Houston Outlaws.
Yes. The only team that who's Atlanta? Atlanta was like, I might be a little worried about Houston, but that's about it. And then Boston.
To hell no, not today.
Good job, Decay and Smurf.
Oh, Smurf. It was Smurf.
Smurf is the tank.
Yeah, I like Smurf.
And then I like, what's his face?
The guy that uses his name.
Yeah,
For his-
Zhong Gong, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also know what it's like to use your name as your username.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains
I wonder how long
here,
it
he's
takes for it to
electing
do
to kill
something.
himself?
Yeah.
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I'm not questioning anything.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him.
I suppose.
I'm compelled to. I must.
There's
Perhaps.
one correction point I'll make.
Maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Maybe
And I tried
this
again.
time.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh,
Yeah. Press the button, hon.
the end is never the end.
Yeah. The end is loading.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
There's another
Perhaps he
bracket
had simply
point,
missed a memo.
I had an idea for a novel.
Mhm.
I don't know
When
if it's
Stanley
like
came to a set of 2 open
derivative or
doors,
something.
he entered the door on his left.
So yeah, I work from home, right?
you do.
And what if one day I sign on
Yet there was not a
and
single
I go to
person here
Microsoft
either.
Teams
Feeling a wave
and I'm
of
chatting.
disbelief, Stanley
no
decided
one's
to go
answering
up to
me.
his boss's office. Hoping
So I
coming to
call
a
in,
staircase, Stanley walked
no one
upstairs to
answers.
his boss's office.
And it says my whole office is missing.
So that's like this game?
Yeah. That's what I thought of it when I...
Oh. It'd be interesting.
Is it some kind of like...
But Stanley
thriller
just
mystery.
couldn't
Yeah.
do it. He considered the possibility of facing his
Yes,
boss,
it's now not
admitting he
really
had
good
left his post
from
during work
Yeah.
hours. He might be fired for that.
You gotta learn how to,
And in
like,
such a
plot.
competitive economy,
Yeah.
why had he taken that risk? All
I read a
because he
lot.
believed
You do.
everyone had vanished.
But you don't read as a
His
writer.
boss would think he was
What are you
crazy.
saying?
You read as a
And
reader.
then something occurred to
I
Stanley.
read as a writer
Maybe,
too.
he thought to himself,
Yeah, I'm
maybe
a
I
writer.
am crazy.
You'll just
All of my
I'm not good at
co-workers
plotting.
blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment
Or like-
for no reason at all.
I'm
None
just
of it
not
made
good at
any
it.
logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
What?
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh,
Then
Don't
he
like that.
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself,
floating.
believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't
I
have to
think
take
so.
responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
His dream on.
the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Sounds like you.
My life is normal. I
Yeah.
am normal. Everything will be fine.
You are normal.
I am okay.
I am okay. All right. Cool.
Sometime.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay.
can put your hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
GG.
Yep.
Alright.
I
How
think
long
it's
was I
good
sitting
today.
there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
One more.
Alright. One more. One day more.
One.
When
A
Stanley
day
came
of
to a set of
destiny.
two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Lonely
and
road
Stanley
to
knew
Calvary.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nice employee lounge.
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful
What's your
room.
favorite whole drink?
What a go. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I like iced tea. Or British
And so
beer.
he detoured through the maintenance section,
I like
walked straight
church.
ahead to the opposite door,
I
and
chose
got
it
back
too.
on track.
Press the button. And press the button.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office.
Yeah.
He wanted to wander about
Yawn.
and get even further off track.
Good morning.
So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's,
I noticed today
left.
I had 5 gray hairs.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. I got all the gray hairs right here. On the front of my chinny chin.
We're old.
Yeah. We're almost 40.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Next month.
No,
me.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Yeah. Age has a way of catching up with you.
Let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Truck.
Ominous. This is familiar.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time,
Alright, bye.
suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
That's it.
That's just Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming out.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good time. Seeing some endings of the Stanley Parable.
Doing nice.
And we'll do this again sometime.
Yes.
See
For
if we get
sure.
the rest of them.
And make sure you join
Mm-hmm.
Discord
Yes.
and follow us on socials. And visit esgaming.gg for all the latest updates.
Yeah.
See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have I end stream?
Click on stop streaming again.
Stop stream. Bye.
Bye.